Hello, everybody. It's March 26th, 2014. You know who that's dedicated to. What's up, people? Listen, gonna cut to the chase here. A few weeks back, probably made a video about how all you gotta do is buy stocks, put some stops on them, and ride off into the sunset, right? So what's happened since? We got stopped out of everything. And I've complained in the past about how stops can ruin your trading. But when stocks are breaking trend and you get stopped out, very, very beneficial. QQQ obviously got stopped out when it broke, I think it was 90.20. 90.20 and 89.75 to be exact, two stops. Still have the January 2016 $95 calls, but that's for 2 years from now. Dry ships, congratulations to the guy that said you're going to get stopped out. You were right. Luckily, we got stopped out at 425 and 385, and now the stock's at 320. We own a little bit. I own a little bit of everything, but it's so insignificant, it's almost as if I don't own anything. Thank God we gave up on Gogo. Now, I know as a big advocate of the stock from last August, really about July, August, September, October, into November, into that $30 price tag that it had on it, into the lockup period that I thought wouldn't make a difference if the stock was really healthy and it was a great company and things were going well. Normally a lockup just as a temporary pause like LinkedIn did, to name one. But this time it absolutely destroyed the stock and has now led me to believe, considering what do you need to see out of a stock that convinces you to hold it when it's pulling back or having some problems. The first thing I look for is how shitty it is when the whole market's green and your stock seems to lead the charge into negativity. That's Gogo since, I don't know, 3 months ago. How confident can you feel? Yeah, I know you investors out there, you're blaming market manipulation. They are manipulating the stock. They are holding it back. They are shaking out the weak hands. They're trying to get your shares. How about it's over, Johnny? How about your stock sucks? There is no they. There's a collective people know more than you do that every time the stock gaps up, it fades. Every time it has good news, it spikes and fades. Every time the market's weak, it's weaker. Every time the market is about to go red, your stock's leading the charge into red. Why would you want to own this thing?
Oh, because this Wi-Fi thing, this is cutting edge. This is going to be big. This is where you want to be. This is the new Google. This is Microsoft in 1983.
No, it's not. It's not. All right? It was a fun fad that lasted about 3 months. Everybody got all excited. They had a decent quarter. Let me remind you, they don't make money. Maybe they'll get bought out by somebody, but maybe they won't. Here's my attitude towards Gogo right now. Sell it until further notice. You know what? If you sell it here at 23 and change, right? Buy it back when it actually starts to go up. I know it sounds stupid, and what does that even mean, right? How about you sell it, and then if it breaks the pre-market highs from when they reported around $26.25, you buy it back. Because wouldn't you rather buy a stock while it's going up and breaking out than trying to guess when it's going to stop going down? And you buy it and you get stopped out, you buy it, you're up a little money, and you still wind up getting stopped out. You buy it and you lose. Why not just wait? And that brings me to our next stock that we got stopped out of. the electric car company, the Tesla, if you will, of China. Ooh, this one was even better, right? $9.35 entry, breaks 11, we're all excited. 12.50, 13, 14, yes. Gets to 15, and then the market had that dramatic pullback, so we got stopped out on the way down. But then, if you look on your charts, $10.90 held up 3 times. I got a broken finger. 3 times. Takes a lot of effort. 3 times. 11.90, 10.90 held up, right? Follow along on your own chart. I'm not going to put a chart up here. I ain't fancy like that. Suffice it to say, we bought it back at 11.15, 12 and change, 13, 14, and then this time when it broke that 14.70, that was our moment. At 14.70, we're like, this is where this thing's going to take off. And yes, it did. All the way up to 19 bucks. We took some profit. And then we got a little conservative with the earnings report. We didn't want to mess up another trade here, so we sold the stock, we bought the options, or you bought the options, you sold the stock. Did I just repeat myself? Or you sold the options and you bought the stock. Whatever the case, the stock popped. And then it had that second pop after the earnings report. Stock hit 22.40. Remember that fateful day? Then not only did it not break 22.50, which if it would have broke 22.50, I think this thing could have went up to $25. But it didn't break that crucial number. And I put 22.50 as a key number because I'm an options trader that's been doing this for 25 years. Used to be options traded in 2.5 point increments, sometimes 5 point increments. So 20, 22.5, 25, those are significant numbers to me. And when a stock can't break 22.5, that's when I look to say, all right, maybe there's going to be a pullback. Now, I'm going to give you a list of stocks right now. You could go put them up on the charts. I'm going to talk slowly so you guys can write these ones down. GWPH, ISIS. And actually, we went through this list a couple of weeks ago. ICPT, Facebook, Priceline, PCLN, ILMN. There's a whole slew of them. I'm going to be interrupted in a second. Wait, hang on a second. What? Nothing's good. Just continue to do what you're doing without any interruption. What these are is what we call, and you probably have another, oh, here we go. Nah, it's just not going to happen. Yeah, as if you can actually do something with kids in the house and not be distracted. I mean, come on. Where were we? I gave you that list of stocks a little while back. GTAT was another one. HIMX, another one. All these charts, I'm giving you these stocks FEYE. The reason I went from, again, remember, I'm always a bear by nature. I hate the stock market. I despise the stock market, especially now that the government took it over and artificially made it go up 3 million%. You know, in my opinion, I thought we'd be still wallowing around trying to figure out how to fix America still. But, you know, if the government steps in and takes over the stock market, I guess we're supposed to go from S&P 666 to 1870 in 3 years. It makes complete sense. And Priceline needs to go up from, you know, 300 a share to 1,400, and, you know, makes complete sense. Awesome, right? It's all about their earnings, right? How great these companies are doing, right? Okay. All these drug companies that make no money, right? They all deserve to go from $4 to $85. Yeah, I know exactly right. Perfect. The reason I've been saying Dow 20,000 since 2009, and I was talking to Josh Brown from CNBC yesterday, buddy of mine, and he's like, you know, we were talking about some of the calls and some of the stocks that I was in 2 years ago when we were had him on. I told him to take a gander at my portfolio at the time. Decker's, First Solar at about 18. Deck was around, you know, still languishing in the 30s. Tesla, $33. I made some money. And I said to him, I was like, well, you remember that portfolio? You kind of made fun of me about my first solo. You kind of wondered why I owned it. He's like, yeah, well, you own it now? I'm like, enough said. Let's stop this conversation. I don't own anything. So no matter what's happened over the last 25 years, nothing makes a stitch of difference. Nothing makes any sense except what I'm going to say right now. All those charts I asked you to look at. Now, I think the audio is probably going to go off on this video because my computer sucks. Everything in my internet's running slow. My Macs don't work. My Dells aren't working. If ever I've been being handed my hat and shown the door, I mean, not only do I hate the stock market, I hate technology. Okay? I hate it. It served its purpose. You can stop now. We don't need faster and stronger and more mobile and more advertisements and stuff on. I don't need it. All right? I'd rather go out and hunt and kill for my food, live till 50 and die. That's the era that I should have lived in. But I don't. And now I am compelled to be a part of this bullshit. Anyway. Going back to all those charts, what do you see on those charts? There was that one moment where it hit a new high, but then not only did it close off those highs, it closed negative. GWPH, Clovis, CLVS, SFUN, just to name another couple. They're all very similar. Now, what that was leading me to believe was, how could we have this many blow-off tops? Stocks that, hit those highs, come in, and normally you'll have a 3-day sell-off after that. That is the last guy who just couldn't take it anymore, who didn't buy the stock at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. At 115, he's like, fuck it, I need to get in. When that guy buys, that's usually your blow-off top. And then money comes out, your profit taking starts to come in, people who are savvy start to short the stock. Now, the reason I'm quite dismayed, and I have just now proceeded to have my worst 30 days in 25 years. Congratulations to me. Congratulations. And it's not the money. I've lost $68,000 in 20 minutes on an IPO in 1999. Something like that. I just blinked. I was down like 60 grand. So it's not monetarily. And my profits I'm never going to be that guy again. 20 grand here, 20 grand there. Now I'm just grinding out a living. Miserable existence that it is. Because when you have moves like this, and now looking at some of these stocks, I mean, we're talking about, okay, let's just run down some of them. SFUN. Stock's down 50 fucking %. Really. SFUN. And there was a couple of, on the 7th of March, 2 weeks ago. I was like, all right, we had to blow off top at 100, 99.75 to be exact. And I didn't want to hold more than 100 shares overnight. And luckily it went down like 3 or 4 more points the next day, and then I covered. And I felt pretty proud. Called the top, made 3 or 4 points. The stock is now down. It's just insane. 24 more points since I covered. Price line, called the top there. Shorted a little price line near the top. And what we were doing, instead of shorting the price line, we took advantage of the overpriced options on price line. We were selling $1,400 calls when the stock was still around $13.20 for like $6. Why not? Not only did price line have to break its all-time high, it had to go to $1,400 for you to be in jeopardy of losing those 6 points. I don't want to get too ahead of myself by talking about selling naked calls. So let's bring it on home. I hate the market. But you can't stay short still. I've been shorting the market, seems like every day. I put a stop on, I try to walk away. I'm getting stopped out. And once again, as incredible as it is, looking at some of the trades that I had on today, how am I not up money? It's because of the stops. We short the Qs at 88.55. It came plummeting down to 88.20. We had a stop at around 88. I forgot what it was. I think I got 88.55 short. And just to make sure I didn't lose any money, I put a stop in right at 88.49 just to make sure. So I get stopped out, and no more than maybe a half an hour, 20 minutes later, we were plummeting off the earth. Sad. And it just seems to be happening every trade. Every trade. But the times you don't use stops, you get those days where not only does it become a reversal, but it goes into a full-blown rally, and next thing you know, you're sitting there short and the market's going ballistically higher in your face. So right now, it has been a lose-lose-lose situation. So what do I suggest? Put my hat on and leave. I'm going to make one more stand for all you bears out there and all you skeptics of the stock market. I'm with you. I'm going to be buying puts finally. Instead of selling calls and collecting premium, I'm going to finally start buying puts. So, that being said, I will now guarantee the market rallies huge tomorrow. Actually, retract that statement. I have not yet bought the puts. I was thinking of buying the puts tomorrow. Right now, I'm still naked QQQ calls. I was shorting anything above 90. April, May's. I figured the Qs are not going above 90 maybe till September at this point. Very discouraged about this market, as you can see. So I figured if I sell calls over 90, they're all going to expire worthless. But you know what? I sold, I think it was a May 91 for 66 cents. The market could go down 3,000 points. All I'm going to make is that 66 cents. If you know anything about options, you know what I'm talking about. So before I go way too long in this video, which is probably way too long already, I don't want to be involved in the market anymore. So I am going to stick it out, as promised, till January 2016. If you want to learn, because if you come to the room, and when my guys are watching this video tonight, they know I've had a bad month. But the craziest thing is, if you had been patient, the picks that we've been giving, if you had fallen into a coma, you'd still be short Priceline from 1350 down 180 points. You'd be short S-Fund, GWP8, the list goes on and on and on. My problem is, not only did I have stops on some of these and got stopped out, but when a stock falls 8 points, usually it's a good idea to take profit, especially if it's an $80 stock, a 10% move down in a day and a half. You usually want to get out, right? So, I look at myself as a good market indicator. So, due to the frustration and annoyance and just complete fed-upness, is that a word? Fed-upness? But you get the idea. I don't give a shit about any of this right now. So that frustration usually leads into a sell-off. We've been chopping along here at the top, failing to break out, and now we're getting this rollover. I hope, I pray, for everyone's sake, that we crash soon and just get it over with. So I'm going to make the title of this video, Imminent Crash. Doom is coming. But of course, use stops and make sure you cover your QQQ if it breaks 89.20. So yes, the market may crash any day now. We may fall 10% over the next week and a half. But please, for the love of God, you got to use stops and watch Priceline and the VIX. If Priceline starts to bounce and the VIX starts to go down, cover all your shorts. It's that easy lately. Priceline starts to fall and the VIX is going up, you stay short everything. It's been a great, great indicator. Today, the market couldn't decide what it wanted to do. Finally, the VIX turns green. You could start hammering the Qs and everything in sight. Now, this video's gone on way too long, so come hang out. Today is the end of March. I will give you all of April to come and play and pick my brain. If you've ever thought about paying for any service, any education, make it me. I will fill your brain within 1 month of 4 or 5 key takeaways on how to trade any market that you'll never ever have to do anything ever again. It's worth $1,000. So for $1,000, and because now that we're already into April, and I'm planning on only doing this till January of 2016, $1,000 you get me till January 2016. Pick my brain, call me in the middle of the night, ask me what you should do with anything that you're doing. Just please don't call me Thursdays at around 10:15, because every once in a while my wife wants to be a wife to me. All right. See ya.